Today's episode of Looping Through Life is brought to you by the band Fictional Reality. Listen now on Spotify. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Looping Through Life. Back at it for yet another coaster dive today for one of the East Coast, yet even still to this day, smoothest coasters of all time. Headed a little bit south to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for Apollo's Chariot.
Smooth? The only thing smoother is how you justify spending your grocery money chasing coaster credits.
Hey, listen, every coaster credit absolutely counts, and that's not what's important right now. We're heading into Apollo's Chariot.
Bro, nobody cares that you rode a wacky worm in Ohio. Your biggest accomplishment this year was getting banned from 3 Applebee's and a Dave & Buster's. Let the coaster have its moment.
Well, either way, guys, we're going to head into the construction, the building of it, and yes, even Fabio on his first drop, yes, the famous dude who took a goose to the face. We're going to cover all of that.
Honestly, that bird had better aim than your last 5 life choices. Let's dive into it before you somehow bankrupt this channel again.
When Busch Gardens Williamsburg set out to build a new roller coaster in the late 1990s, they weren't just looking to add another thrill ride. They wanted a headline-making, airtime-heavy, smooth-as-butter machine that would redefine the East Coast coaster scene. And in 1999, they got it with Apollo's Chariot, the park's first hypercoaster, and a landmark moment for Bolliger and Mabillard B&M. Apollo's Chariot opened on March 30th, 1999, and marked B&M's very first foray into hypercoasters, meaning roller coasters over 200 feet tall without inversions, prioritizing speed, height, and massive airtime hills. Before this, B&M had been known for their ultra-smooth inverted coasters, like Raptor and Batman, the ride. But Apollo's Chariot would be their chance to stretch their engineering wings into something bigger, bolder, and faster. Let's talk stats. The ride stands 170 feet tall, but its first drop is 210 feet thanks to the natural terrain. That's a key feature of Apollo's Chariot. Like many coasters at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, it uses the landscape brilliantly. The ride's total length is around 4,882 feet, with a top speed of 73 miles per hour. It doesn't loop or twist. This is all about speed and airtime, with a focus on long, smooth floater hills that launch you out of your seat again and again. The layout is deceptively simple but expertly executed. After climbing the lift hill, riders drop 210 feet into a ravine, and then immediately soar up into an enormous camelback hill. The ride continues through a sequence of large airtime hills, banked turns, and more terrain-hugging drops. What makes it so enduring is its pacing. There's no wasted moment, no dull middle section. It just flows. The trains themselves are signature B&M open-air hypercoaster trains, with just a lap bar and no over-the-shoulder restraints. This makes the airtime feel even more intense. You're essentially floating over hills with no upper body restriction, which adds a sense of freedom that helps make Apollo's Chariot legendary. Now, let's talk about that opening day incident, because no dive into Apollo's Chariot is complete without mentioning Fabio and the Goose. For opening day, Busch Gardens wanted a big publicity stunt, so they brought in international model and romance novel icon Fabio to ride the front row of Apollo's Chariot for the media. Great idea on paper. They had cameras, photographers, press. It was supposed to be a glamour moment. Instead, it turned into one of the most bizarre coaster moments in history. As the train came flying down that first drop, a goose flew into the ride path and smashed directly into Fabio's face. Hard. The impact was so intense it killed the goose instantly, and Fabio returned to the station with a bloody nose, visibly shaken and covered in bird remains. The photo of him on the ride, face bloody and stunned, with everyone around him having a normal ride experience, went viral long before viral was even a thing. The incident became infamous. The park tried to spin it. Fabio tried to downplay it, but let's be honest, it was a bird to the face at 73 miles per hour. There's no PR manual for that. Aside from the foul fatality, the ride opened to critical acclaim. Coaster enthusiasts praised its smooth ride, sustained airtime, and terrain-focused layout. And to this day, it remains one of the most consistently well-reviewed B&M hypers in the world. One of Apollo's Chariot's major strengths is its location within the park. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is heavily wooded and hilly, and the coaster was designed to take advantage of that. Rather than sitting on a big flat slab of land, Apollo's Chariot dives into ravines, curves around trees, and uses natural drops to create airtime moments that feel more intense than their stats might suggest. It's not trying to be the tallest or fastest hypercoaster, it's trying to be the most enjoyable. The color scheme also makes the ride stand out. The purple track with golden supports gives it a regal, divine look, tying in with the Roman god Apollo theme. While the theming is mostly concentrated in the station and name, the ride itself feels like a chariot ride through the heavens, with a few gravity-defying gut punches for good measure. There's also something to be said about the pacing. Many coasters have a strong start and then lose momentum. Apollo's Chariot keeps it going all the way through. Even the helix and final bunny hops deliver. And thanks to the minimal restraints, you feel every inch of that airtime. It's the kind of coaster where you're smiling halfway through the ride and laughing by the brake run. Over the years, it's avoided major alterations. Unlike many coasters that get trims, roughness, or layout tweaks, Apollo's Chariot has remained largely the same since its debut. That's a testament to how well it was designed from the start. It hasn't needed gimmicks, launches, or inversions to stay relevant. It just delivers a pure, graceful, thrilling coaster experience. In terms of capacity, it runs 3 trains, each with 9 cars holding 4 riders per row, so it moves people efficiently even on busy days. Load times can sometimes be a bit slow. This is Busch Gardens, not Cedar Point, but the station setup is solid. Apollo's Chariot has also helped define the identity of Busch Gardens Williamsburg as a park that blends thrill with elegance. While other parks chase record-breaking heights or ridiculous gimmicks, Busch Gardens has always leaned into beauty, theming, and experience, and Apollo's Chariot fits that mold perfectly. It also paved the way for other B&M hypers to follow: Nitro, Goliath, Diamondback, Intimidator, and many more. Every one of them owes something to Apollo's Chariot for proving that hypercoasters could be graceful and powerful at the same time. And let's not forget the legacy of that Goose. To this day, coaster fans joke about Goose protection on the front row. It's an unforgettable moment in coaster history. Tragic for the bird, unfortunate for Fabio, and absolutely iconic for the ride. Fabio himself has only rarely spoken about it, but the photos live on forever. There are no statues for the bird, but its spirit rides with every front row rider who ducks just a little instinctively. In recent years, Apollo's Chariot continues to place highly on coaster rankings and fan polls. It might not make headlines like newer, more aggressive rides, but for pure, re-rideable fun, it's hard to beat. It doesn't try to terrify you, It tries to fly, and that makes all the difference. Whether you're a die-hard coaster fan looking to rack up B&M credits, or a casual visitor just hoping to float out of your seat a dozen times, Apollo's Chariot is a must-ride. It's a beautiful piece of coaster engineering, a landmark in hypercoaster history, and the rare kind of ride that feels timeless. So next time you're at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, make your way back to Festa Italia, hop into that Chariot, and take to the skies. Just maybe bring a helmet if you're sitting in the front row. RIP, Goose, you died doing what you loved, absolutely wrecking a male model's day. We hope you enjoyed this coaster dive into the original B&M Hyper. Now it's back to the studio with Ryan and Ferris.
And that's going to be a wrap today, guys, here into our deep dive into Apollo's Chariot, a ride even more than 2 decades later that's still smoother than some of the newer B&Ms out there.
Graceful? Sure. Unlike you trying to exit a ride photo booth with dignity after seeing your double chin mid-air. That picture should come with a trigger warning.
Whatever. It's a great ride, and it really paved the way for other hypercoasters to come. You know what I'm saying? It really set the peak for everything.
Meanwhile, you peaked in 2020 when you got a retweet from Busch Gardens Tampa. I've seen soft pretzels with more momentum than your aspirations.
Either way, guys, be sure to like and subscribe down below. We got 1,000 subscribers. Ferris Fox gets his own merch.
Or don't. And he'll probably try to live off vending machine granola bars again. I'm Ferris Fox. He's a walking warning label. See you next ride.